breakfast. Should you eat it? Should you skip it? So I just come across this comment on social media, and I think it is pretty nice example of what is wrong. So the person that is commenting is writing, breakfast is the most important meal of the day because it's the most important to leave out, so to skip. Well, maybe for somebody else not. Let's continue. Why would your body need food after waking up when you just had food the night before? What if I did not? What if I skipped the dinner? No, but certainly you don't need necessarily energy when you just woke up. I don't have breakfast right after waking up. I have it 2-3 hours afterwards. Now, for example, I wake up at 5. I have breakfast between 8 and 9 after some physical activity and so on. There are people who have breakfast earlier or sooner after waking up. If you have physical activity, if you are an athlete, you eat even if you are not hungry. Not necessarily all the time, but that is something to consider. You don't need to have a big breakfast, but you eat something like small banana or maybe some liquid energy, because you are physically active. You are not just like this lady in the comment, sitting, meditating and pushing enemas. So let's continue. One more thing. If you had a small dinner, of course you will get hungry. So let's take in the context. The day before you might have had breakfast, snack 1, lunch, second snack, dinner, third snack, and that could have been, let's say, 500 calories. That's why you are hungry the day after, right? The longer your body wait with your first meal in the day, the more time you give your body to detoxify itself. Well, first of all, what is detoxify? What does it mean? It's a very broad term that is often used by people. It says nothing specific. So to detoxify, your body detoxifies, yes, okay. The longer you wait, the more time you give your body to, I would just say the more time you give your body to process all the food. And we know that it takes, let's say, based on the composition of the meal and the quantity of the meal, let's say 3 to 5 hours, and then it is digested. It's good to take that time. You don't need to be eating, and it's not even healthy to eat like constantly, like in 24 hours. If you eat every 3 hours, it's not really the best thing for your health. But we have nice sleep. You don't eat, I hope so, right before going to bed and right after waking up. So you are going more than 7-8 hours without eating. Generally, when I look at my day, I go 12 to 14 hours. So 2-3 hours, 3 hours before bed at least, and then 3-4 hours after sleep. So that leaves us, I sleep 7 hours, 7 plus, it's about 13 to 14 hours of fast. Wow, I'm not skipping breakfast and I'm not skipping dinner. Anyway, that's why it's called breakfast. Yeah. Why do many people wake up hungry? Because stomach pain or rumbling is not hunger, but your stomach cleaning and your body starting to detox. Well, your body's again this detox. That's for a whole different video. Eating breakfast will never give you energy. Talking in absolutes, like the only absolute I can say with clear conscience is never talk in absolutes. It's gonna take energy away from you to process all that food. Well, just like when you eat dinner, it takes you energy to process that food. Usually, when I see people who do intermittent fasting, and also that was my experience, was that, yeah, I enjoyed huge meals. I still, but it was so huge that, yeah, it took a lot of energy out from me. But the cure is not that I skip eating and then have a huge dinner that just turns me off and I fall asleep, but learn how to eat uh, correctly or purposefully and mindfully, so you can actually eat for your goals, feel energetic, and you don't need to skip breakfast or lunch or dinner. I used not to eat in the morning as a child, as do most children, until we are conditioned to eat our so important breakfast. Well, yes, that is partially something that I agree with, that children don't have pretty good self-control, but they also are conditioned over time to eat when the time is right? Because we need to understand one important thing. We live in certain kind of conditions that is dictated by our society, or the society where you live in, and by your circumstances and environment. So if you wake up and need to go to work at 6 a.m. and then you, for whatever reason, cannot eat between 6 to 12, well, maybe it's better to eat at 5 a.m. even when you are not hungry. Just like athletes who have 6 a.m. training, eat something small before that, or have a snack the night before. So this is like the best practice. So you always think in context, it's not as black and white. At some point the body gets so toxic that you can function properly in the morning, well, basically anytime. But that is the problem. If you constantly eat, overeat, you have excess energy. So for example, fasting, just yesterday I read another study about intermittent fasting, because I spent a lot of time researching this topic, and what it shown was, once again, in obese people, intermittent fasting doesn't lead to like better weight loss than continuous energy restriction. There is pretty much a lot of evidence. I would not just point out to this one specific study, but it points the same direction as countless other studies. So intermittent fasting is a tool. It can be a healthy practice, but don't let it dictate or rule your life. So to wrap up, you can skip lunch, you can skip dinner, you can skip breakfast, and you can feel great. You can skip whole day of eating and you will feel great. Is breakfast the most important meal? I believe, or I tend to err on the side of yes, it's more important than the dinner. But whether you skip a breakfast or just have it or postpone it, because nobody talks about postponing it. All the time it's like skip or don't skip, eat or not eat. Postpone it. Have it smaller breakfast, smaller dinner. There are so many things that we can do with meal timing, meal sizes, and meal composition. So you feel great. You also your health improves, and also your performance improves, body composition improves, and you don't need to be skipping breakfast. You can be eating breakfast, you can be eating lunch, you can be eating snacks. You don't need to be eating snacks. There are many ways, and it's never, again, absolute. It's never about absolutes. So that is, guys, for the video today. And if you have any questions, post them down in the comments below. In the description you will also find way how to apply for coaching. If you are somebody who needs some more attention, you want some advice and accountability, how to teach all these diet fads and rather do what is right for you and for your goals. So reach out to me, we will speak. If we are a good fit, we can start working together. You have a great day.